Why?
I don't know.
Why did do?
Oh, you're. I just got an ad for your stream.
I know. I have no idea why this happened.
Yeah, your
That's
stream just restarted.
weird. Yeah, no, I just restarted it. That's odd. I don't know why I did that. It literally just shut down
Weird
the app.
technical difficulty.
Yeah. Okay. It's weird.
All right, back to
Okay.
it, I
Back
guess.
back to it. Oh well.
Our vets were really concerned when he first came in and even examined Sparky multiple times, but it seems he really doesn't care. He's just fine with his bony and fleshy self. His lower body parts are also somewhat constantly dirty, no matter how hard our volunteers try to shower his belly. Additionally, it is notable that Sparky has some problems with his eyes and muscles from time to time. Once in a while, he'll lose control of himself, flopping on the ground like a doof. Poor guy! However, the rehabilitation team and I are working hard on teaching him how to control his body a little better. One thing that does worry me, however, is how often pieces of him just fall off.
Ugh.
One day we'll come into his pen to find that his tail or a paw had just fallen clean off. We do our best to stitch him back together every time. Excuse me?
You want to run that by me again?
You want to run that by me one more fucking time?
All right, Wilsons. How do you explain this?
Like, yeah, that's fine. You don't. That's how.
You don't.
You
You
stick
can't.
it in a place like Will where you don't have to.
That's yeah.
Also, that the next part is so good.
Oh, look at this baby bean.
It's Sparky during one of their therapy sessions.
Sparky.
I love him.
Sparky.
All right, let's find out more shit about this weird fucking dog. We initially got a hold of Sparky when his owner, Daniel, came into our Freeport Center with him in his arms, clearly not happy about Sparky's condition. He is in a very messy state, flesh mangled, skinny, and bones jutting out of him. Daniel was crying, asking us what did he do wrong, so we gave him some basic dog care advice. Unfortunately, he didn't seem to take too kindly to that and only cried harder. But we weren't going to give up on Sparky. We covered his damaged feet in bandages, stitched up the exposed bits of flesh and bone, at least the parts we could, and gave him a luxurious bath. I won't lie, it looked very grim for a while. Our vets couldn't hear his heartbeat and he didn't seem to want to move, but after a few hours of trying and trying, we helped him walk again. We still have a lot of work to do in the rehabilitation department, but we're making very big progress in these regards. We also need to get new stethoscopes because our old ones are clearly faulty. Or he just doesn't have a heartbeat.
He just isn't.
Crazy. He has a hole in his chest cavity. It's a fair assumption.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Since his arrival, Daniel has been showing up every day to check on Sparky. He's clearly very engaged, and loves him very much, but we are very confused as to what happened. When we asked what caused Sparky's condition, he kept murmuring about how it's all his fault and how he doesn't know what went wrong. We didn't press on him as it clearly was a bad memory. Plus, we're not the ones to judge here at Wilson's. Like the sign says, every critter is welcome.
Okay. I'm getting weird vibes that
let's go.
Something went
So am
astray.
Hey, Daniel, what are you fucking doing to your dog, bitch?
What'd you do, Daniel?
Hey, bro. Daniel.
Daniel.
So, special needs and accommodations. Sparky is currently housed within a solo canine enclosure due to his problematic relationships with other critters. We're currently trying to teach him to understand that living with other doggos is really fun, but he has quite a hard time figuring it out. His pen is filled with comfy grass and a pillow part where he can sleep without a problem. Once in a while, we buy him a new toy to cheer him up in his voluntary isolation, and he seems to enjoy them very much. Just remember, don't buy any toys resembling animals. Remember to keep a needle and plenty of thread around in case... That was a hard left turn of a sentence. So just remember, don't buy any toys resembling animals. Next sentence. Remember to keep a needle and plenty of thread around in case pieces fall off of Sparky.
Oh, God.
That was a hard left turn. I feel like that should have been, like, its own paragraph, like, by itself.
I got whiplash. Just
I
from
did
like
too.
reading that
Like
with
as
my
I was reading it, I
eyes.
was like, "What?" I
Wait
was
a
like,
minute,
"That
hold
should have
on.
been a separate thing." Okay.
All right.
Sparky should be fed twice a day, with his water being changed every hour or so. He's quite the drinker, you see. It goes right through him. Literally. Sometimes you can see it falling out of a hole near his butt and onto the ground. Our vets still don't know what's up with that.
Okay. Oh, poor baby.
Poor fucking dog. Oh man, Sparky should be allowed free roam of our patio, with Daniel being able to come around whenever either of them wants to. Or come around him whenever either of them wants to. His presence has been shown to greatly increase Sparky's happiness.
Oh
Notes
goodness.
about Sparky. It seems that Sparky still has a couple of secrets up his sleeve, though. You see, during his time with Jeremy, one of his very hard-working caretakers, some very weird events have taken place near him. Sorry. It seems like he was quite the magician, even for our standards. Jeremy told us that during the playtime, he accidentally threw Sparky's favorite toy onto one of the trees on our patio. And although Sparky was very much too short to reach that tree, when Jeremy went to get the ladder to be able to, when he returned, Sparky had already gotten the toy back in his paws. A really surprising fella he is, and knows his ways in sticky situations, it seems. The toy Sparky rescued that day is unfortunately no longer with us. We lost it 2 days ago and can't find it anywhere. Thankfully, Jeremy bought Sparky a new and shiny toy, almost identical to the previous one. He was very happy with it.
Hmm.
All right. It also seems that no matter his somewhat problematic shape and physiology, Sparky is quite the eater. Though we try to keep him well fed with the best of foods, he sometimes gets carried away and eats the grass and dirt at the patio. Me too, Sparky.
What?
Just gets carried away and eats whatever's available.
Oh, I
Me
thought you
too,
were gonna be like,
buddy.
oh yeah, I too eat grass and
I
dirt
too
at the
eat grass and dirt.
at the
I
patio.
understand. Anyways, it's quite the bizarre diet for a dog, especially for his size, but it seems he enjoys it, so we don't forbid him that much from doing so. I also don't think dirt and grass are going to be the problem thing for him. I feel like, not having a heart and having a hole in his
Yeah,
chest
I was gonna.
cavity and pieces of him fall off might be more worrisome.
Yeah, I was gonna say having a hole in your body is probably doing a lot of
Yeah,
the problem. You know, that's the issue.
all right, so we have some emails next. I still am
Oh.
confused as to the loss of a loved one thing that links back to this.
I maybe the loved one was
Because I haven't answered
Sparky.
that question yet.
Maybe the loved one
For
was
Sparky,
Sparky.
yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But
maybe.
who knows?
All right. So this was sent by Tim Wilson to Jeremy Hudson, who is the caretaker, um, in February of 2011, I'm guessing, or
I'm thinking
February 11th.
February 11th. That's what I'm thinking. There's
Well,
just
no, because
no
all the
year.
other emails are a month later.
Maybe. I
I
don't
don't
know
know.
how these dates go
Anyways,
anymore.
I don't either. They never make sense. Hey Jeremy, I'm writing to inform you that during my watch over Sparky, he started being very aggressive to other critters, especially our cats next door. I know that not liking cats is normal behavior for dogs, but this worries me. Sparky started shaking violently when he saw even the smallest of them and even managed to shake loose an ear. This has never happened before. Please forward this message to his rehabilitation team, Tim. Also, if you hear audio in the background, my roommate is taking a shower and the bathroom is right next to my room. I literally share a wall with it. So if you hear things, it's roommate.
Oh, I didn't
Um,
hear anything.
okay, good. Just letting you know in case you do hear shit. So the next email was sent by Tim to Jeremy again. Sorry. Yeah, okay, I did. Looks like maybe 2 months later or 2 days later. I don't know. Hey Jeremy, sorry for bothering you again this busy weekend, but do you know where Furball is? You know, the cat from Enclosure 2? It says on her clipboard that you were the last person to feed her. I've really looked everywhere and I can't find her for the love of me. If you have any information regarding her whereabouts, please notify me. So this might be 2 days later, and this might be in November, potentially.
Okay, so there's a missing cat.
There's a missing cat. So the next email is sent by
Ooh.
Tim Wilson to staff, volunteers, and everyone. It is with great sadness that I must announce that Furball has been found dead. Fuck. I have no idea what could have done this to her. Her entire body was twisted beyond recognition, with fur missing all from her face. The worst part was that whatever did this to her also took her eyes. Rest assured, we will be monitoring all security footage of the last few days in an effort to discover who or what did this to our beloved furball. If you have any ideas, please don't hesitate to talk to me in my office. From Tim.
What the
Next,
fuck?
next email from Tim Wilson to Jeremy Hudson. Jeremy, Anna and I are starting to worry. You haven't been to work in 3 days now. You know, I'm not one of these people to make you stay overnight, but we really could use your help here, man. Sparky seems to be falling apart more often, and we're running low on thread to stitch him back up. So if you could grab some on your way back, that would be appreciated. Sorry if I'm a bit messy, but Punchy went missing today too, and we're all pretty distraught. We don't want to repeat a furball. From Tim.
This feels like, what was the one? Oh god, it was one of the sleep ones. I think maybe, I don't know. There was one where the guy went home and he just refused to leave his house, and they had to go find it. Like, who was that? This feels very much like that
Very
instance.
similar, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not that. That's the old bird that just died. Is it in Bakugo or was it in?
I don't know. Um, damn, I can't remember which one it was.
It's not Bakugo because that was just everyone collapsed from next
Oh,
door. It wasn't Bartholomew because Bartholomew was the whale. No, wait, it might have been actually. It might have been Bartholomew.
where the
Or was it? Wait, was it the turtle?
oh yeah, it was the turtle because it was the guy that thought
Because it was. Oh, where is it? Oh, what was the
Gabby.
name?
It was Gabby. I thought.
It's
No,
Gabby.
no, it's not Gabby. Sorry, Gabby's a.
No, that's the
Uh,
that's the alligator or
damn,
the
which Clara?
Gabriel.
Which the hell?
Fucking
Which one?
was it
Jesus Christ!
Cappy or no? Cappy was the capsule pet. No
Um,
Entertainment. Was it Chell? It was
it
Chell
was
because it
Chell.
was my name.
Oh
It was
yeah,
my name. That's what it was.
yeah,
Yeah,
because it was the same thing. Because Oliver like
it was Ollie.
thought her into existence, and then had a freak out.
A breakdown.
Yeah, because it was like, oh my god, I've always wanted the turtle, and then Chell showed up at Wilson's like she'd always been there, and it freaked him out.
What dream did? I don't remember.
No, it wasn't a dream thing. It was he
No,
just
that's sorry. It looked like they added something to Chell's. It was updated on the 15th of April of this year.
uh maybe it was just a. Oh, is this the one where they fixed the dates?
No, it might not have been. It's not important. We can look at that later.
Okay.
Um, because this was a tangent for it sounds similar. Um, so the next email is from Tim to Jeremy again. Looks like I think these are days, so this might be in November.
Yeah.
Jeremy, please come to work now. We have a very serious emergency. We locked all animals in their pens, but more and more of them keep disappearing. Daniel hasn't responded either. Last time I saw him, he was reading some sort of weird looking book. Anna told me the title was some creepy stuff, something along the lines of souls and somas. Apparently, it's about thaumaturgy, thaumaturgency, thaumaturgy, maybe, or something like that. You spent a lot of time with Daniel. Would you happen to know anything about this? From Tim.
I'm gonna look up and see what that is.
Yeah, I would like to know.
Uh, nope, just exists on SCP stuff,
It, it might be thaumaturgy is potentially what it
and then they
is what they're
misspelled
trying
it.
to say.
That's
Yeah, they
fair.
just misspelled it terribly. So the last couple of emails, the next one is sent by Tim to staff, volunteers, and everyone what looks like a day later. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I must share this with everyone. Last night, Sparky went on a rampage. Anna and I tried restraining him, but weird, shadowy tentacles came out of him and tossed us aside. He then got out of his enclosure and proceeded to the feline enclosure next door and ate all of Minerva's kittens, every last one.
Oh
We
jeez.
tried to stop him, but couldn't. Had it not been for Daniel, who suddenly appeared screaming at Sparky, I'm sure we would have lost more. He seemed to have calmed down for a bit, but then he started shaking violently before exploding. There were pieces of him in black goo everywhere, and in his place was this weird transparent thing that looked like nothing I'd ever seen before. It and Daniel each gave each other a long final look, with Sparky giving out a short whimper before it let out an ear-splitting howl and disappears through one of the walls. I will be taking a day off to process everything that's happened. If the supervisors need me, tell them Faye is in charge for now. Thanks for understanding, Tim. Sent by Wilson's Wildlife Solutions automated email response bot. Recipient Tim Wilson. Same day as this. System notice. User Tim Wilson. The account of user Jeremy Hudson you've been messaging for the last 7 days has not been active for a moderate amount of time. Due to this, the messages sent by you were not received nor read by anyone. The last time user Jeremy Hudson has logged on was the 1st of November 1523. Terminal 3, Wilson's Wildlife Center, Canine Care Center, Enclosure 2, Sparky. Sent by Daniel, recipient Tim Wilson, same day. I'm so
Mm.
sorry. I'm so, so sorry. I should have never tried bringing him back. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
So Sparky did die.
Yeah.
So what is
So
the SCP?
the SCP is so it can only be observed and entered. So it's really weird because I opened it slightly. So it is a file update the in 1984 to ensure personal safety following event 9636-1 upon entering SCP-5936. All individuals are to thermatologically protect themselves by saying the following phrase loudly and clearly. I am me, my body is mine and mine only. All personnel failing to do so are to leave the entry point under the threat of immediate termination. So it's something that manifests and it's a SCP-5936 is a spatial disruption occurring approximately 2 kilometers north of a town in Poland. The anomaly's interior is approximately 100 kilometers squared, 78% larger than the area 56 kilometers squared expected.
Oh.
Additionally, the SCP can only be observed and entered by individuals that are non-religious, have lost a close relative or a friend, and have worked with or been witness of occult phenomenon. Whether an individual is brought near the anomaly that does not meet the above criteria, they neglect its existence, claiming to only see a barren field, which, when similar to those surrounding the area the SCP manifests in, expressing a desire to leave the area.
So I think I
Um,
found a translation of the book that Daniel was reading.
yes.
Yep, like further down. Uh it's like this weird. Oh my god.
Is it?
All the
The
way at the bottom. All the way at the bottom with there's like an email on the SCIP net.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Wow. So, to break the seal that must come first, 1,000 bodies must offer one, a riff in time it shall create, freezing a place when the ritual's done. Take the bodies, the ritual shall, but leave the souls at will. One must account for their raging thoughts, as they might want to take back the bill. Around the town, a circle must surround it fully within. To cover yourself and your soul, a safe sign you must bring. The soul shall seek revenge, as after all, easily does not one die. Though gone the region is, they might want to come back from the children. One seal, 1/5 of heaven. Is it really worth it? For Lord it is, but what if people think we're the bad ones? Doesn't matter. Once we bring heaven at will, stop, cease, be happy. Remember the goal. For heaven, it is worth it. And then one down, 4 to go in Poland. So the
What the
weird
fuck?
thing is, this is very similar to Geist, the cat.
Mm-hmm. Especially with the tentacles coming out of the
And it's
animal.
able to get out of it and like be a magician and shit like that. This is very similar.
And it does have that I'm assuming it's like telekinetic abilities because
Mm-hmm.
the cat was able to like move things
Yeah.
without people seeing how it was doing it. And it's the same situation
And
here,
then
like getting the toy out of the tree.
Geist was gone at the end of it. They just he just left.
He
They didn't
just
know where
yeah.
he went.
But here they
Yeah,
saw.
This morning, Jason went to feed him, but something happened. We found Jason curled up on the floor, babbling nonsense and clawing at his own skin. The far wall of the cabinet collapsed, and Geist or its chair were nowhere to be found. And later, we also found one of our other animals slaughtered and hanged by its own intestines. May he
Yeah,
rest in peace.
yeah. This is like the same situation. I feel like they were similar creatures.
Potentially. Dr. Ashworth, yeah, that was what you talked about, tagged the
Yeah,
Ashworth
Dr.
thing.
Ashworth is Daniel.
Yeah. There's other SCPs attached to Dr. Ashworth.
Oh. Let's see.
The
Uh,
rope that's made of unidentified plant fiber and translucent emerald green piece of jadeite cut into the form of a spiral, presumed to be intended as a piece of jewelry. Oh, humans who come in contact with this SCP, even with the aid of protective garments or tools, disappear instantaneously.
oh, so that's probably where Jeremy went.
But they're still able to be heard. Okay. Humans who vanish in this fashion appear in SCP 3963, which is the SCP itself, though they're still able to be heard and spoken to by those in the vicinity of the SCP. Communication in this fashion can only be achieved with the last subject that comes in contact. So, no, they get trapped in this thing, it looks like.
Yeah.
Um, and then it's presumed to be extra dimensional. And then 5314 is safe. It's a safe
It's a
class.
fungus.
It's a fungus.
What does it do? Fungal infections.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Tooth pain. As far as I can see.
Hold on, give me 1 second. Okay, no, this isn't the same.
Oh, because it
I was
happened in
thinking it
Poland.
was.
They
No,
researched it
I
in
was thinking
Poland.
this was connected to
Oh, the location or the.
Davy Bones. Davy Bones.
Oh no 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 no. I think
For like
it's
half a
connect.
second.
I think it's connected because it was found within the circle in Poland.
No, it literally Dr. Ashworth achieved significant progress in research about rituals attached to this SCP,
Yeah.
completing missing parts of the rituals by using knowledge from the field of defensive and arming the magic thing that we were talking about.
Hey,
Using the
fun
developed method
fact.
allowed the process to achieve moderate success in the form of covering the test subject body to 50%.
There
Because the
are
armor starts in the
Chelsea.
mouth. Holy shit.
Chelsea. There are 5 SCPs. One for
Yeah.
each. One for each point.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then it looks like he's the research head for all of them.
Yeah. Oh. Uh.
Site 120s. 120. What is that? What is Site 120? What?
SCP-5795.
That's what I was looking at.
What? Oh, that's cool. All right. Oh, I guess I am an authorized personnel. Yeah, they're just locations. And like things
Yeah.
within the locations.
And then the next SCP 5890.
Retinal scan. Apparently now I'm Dr. McCarthy Jr.
Oh,
Wow, incredible. Yep, it's a nuclear power plant in Poland.
yeah.
Yep. So these are the 5 locations within the circle.
Well, the thing is that one of the SCPs isn't a location.
It's the fungus.
Yeah, it's the fungus.
But I think it's the fungus from one of the points.
Probably, yeah. And then
Which would make
this,
sense.
the Holly, the pendant that I'm still looking to see.
Olivia, why are you turning every shade of purple in the chat? What are you doing?
There is no site, but it's found within site 120. So yeah,
Yeah, okay. Interesting. So, it
one down, four to go.
appear...
What succeeded?
Uh, probably the Sparky incident.
Maybe yeah. Weird, fucking
That's
weird.
very strange. Very strange. Very strange.
Fucking weird, bro.
Yeah,
All right,
odd.
did we
Uh,
read the polar bear
I don't think we read
already?
the polar bear on stream. We
I don't
talked about
remember.
it because the polar bear was what kicked off Wilson's Wildlife.
Right, yes. Right. I think I remember reading through this, but I don't think it was on stream. Oh,
No,
because this is the bear incident file
this is
thing,
the
right?
the
Yeah.
the what was it? Ursus something something.
Martimus.
Yeah.
It's at the top of the page.
Oh yeah, I thought there was like a different name for the thing. Anyway,
Mm-mm.
hovering over the picture, we are only able to get one photo of him in enclosure 3 before its untimely destruction, which is wild.
Wild.
Very wild. So name the polar bear. So there's no name for this other than the polar bear.
A mood.
Species polar bear. Primary caretaker, there is no caretaker. Diet raw pork. Housed at enclosure 3, formerly refrigerated storage ink locker 5 currently. Beautiful. Creature features. We don't have a name for this critter, but folks around the Wildlife Center had taken to calling him simply the polar bear during his time with us. You read that right. This is a genuine polar bear straight from the Arctic. Well, I assume he's from the Arctic. He could really be from anywhere up north. Anyways, onto the creature features. This critter is unlike anything we have ever encountered before. The polar bear absorbs all the thermal radiation, meaning heat, from the area around him. Right now, you might be thinking, well, that ain't too bad. It sounds like he'd be helpful on a hot summer day. Well, he doesn't just make it a little colder. This critter absorbs the heat out of everything, be it the warmth in the air, the heat from a radiator, or your very own body heat. The polar bear absorbs it all up and, in some process unknown to us, becomes incredibly bright. This heat absorption also has the unfortunate side effect of making it snow in the area around him wherever he goes, which is a real pain when he comes around in the middle of a hot summer day. History. The spot where the couple was attacked, it says in the picture. Okay.
That's always fun to read.
This critter and the circumstances surrounding our first encounter with it are very unusual, to say the least. It all started with a picnic on Tickle Creek. For those who are not residents of Boring, Tickle Creek is a creek, amazing, I know, that runs a mile or two south of the town. During the summer, folks like to go picnicking on its banks. It was a pair of such folks that led to us first discovering the polar bear. It all started with Mr. Wilson getting a phone call from his close friend, Sheriff McIntosh. Apparently, a pair of lovebirds had run into the sheriff's office screaming about how a massively albino grizzly had walked out of the creek and chased them into an apple orchard just outside of town. Tim decided that he wanted to check it out personally, and asked Haggy and I, Albert, to come along. So we all hopped into his pickup and drove up to the orchard where we met with the sheriff to look for this albino grizzly. It didn't take long for us to find him. It's not hard to spot a giant white bear. He was having a grand old time chowing down on some red apples and, thankfully, didn't notice us quickly backing away from him. This is when we realized that he wasn't an albino grizzly, but in fact a polar bear. We backtracked back to our vehicle and elected to think up a plan on how to catch the polar bear. The plan was as follows. Sheriff McIntosh would drive back into town to make sure no poor passers-by get too close to the bear, and Haggy and I would call up some more volunteers on our mobile phone, who would then help us divert him away from the town and to the wildlife center, where we would then try to get him into enclosure 3, which was at the time just recently completed. Sounds pretty simple, right? Just as Haggy was about to call up the wildlife center, the bear went barreling past us towards the town. We hopped back into Tim's pickup and followed him along the road, Haggy frantically telling the volunteers over the phone to prepare to catch a massive polar bear. Thankfully, they were ready when the bear reached boring, and managed to divert him into one of our capture vans, which is just a fancy name for van with a big cage in the back, without any problems. We were able to deliver him to the wildlife center and get him into the enclosure without issue. But after a few hours, we noticed something odd. It was getting increasingly colder in Enclosure 3 as the day went on. At first, we thought it was an issue with the air conditioning, but it wasn't even completely installed yet. No one even considered that it could be the bear causing the cold until it started snowing inside the enclosure. To prevent him from filling the enclosure with snow, Haggy had the idea to turn the heater up to max. As soon as the heater kicked in, the bear started to look agitated. We didn't think much of it at first, since most wild critters dislike unfamiliar noises, but then he began to glow. I don't mean that the sun reflected off his fur, I mean that he started producing light, like of some sort of Ursid-shaped light bulb. It got so bright that it got impossible to look at. I don't know about you, but when I see a bear start glowing, especially in boring, I try to get out of Dodge as soon as possible. I did exactly that, pushing Haggy and Tim out the door just as the bear let out a blinding pulse of light, which knocked us all to the ground. When I got back on my feet, the bear was sitting in the middle of what I can only assume was the charred remains of Enclosure 3. With heat bringing about a very destructive outcome, we decided to try putting him somewhere cold instead. Conveniently, a refrigerated storage place in town had an open unit available. After some discussions with the owners, we were able to purchase the unit and relocated the bear there. The unit is quite pricey, but it's only temporary until we can move him somewhere up north. One last note. I just got word of a heat wave predicted to hit Clackamas County in a few days, so we're going to have to wait to move the bear until after. Once we get him settled in a permanent home, I'll update this page. Also, thanks for reading this longer-than-average critter profile. Okay. Interesting. Special needs and accommodations. Right? The polar bear was the first and last critter to use Enclosure 3, which we had recently built using money from one of our monthly bake sales. Okay, bake sales. Lovely. Its purpose was to house any large critters that we encountered in boring, things like wolves, bison, and saber-toothed felines. And it did serve its purpose for a little while. I would have liked if it had been around for more than a few days, but hey, things go wrong sometimes, and that's okay. His current storage unit home is managed by a very nice couple named Andrew and Kelly, who have agreed to let him stay there until we can find somewhere colder to house him. They've also been very nice about the whole thing, which is great. Notes about the polar bear. 6/20/2008. We're going to be holding a bake sale tomorrow to raise money to rebuild Enclosure 3 and pay for the polar bear's temporary home. Come buy some apple pies and support us. 6/21, the next day. The incident. Fuck. The incident. Hello there. My name is Tim Wilson. Yes, that Tim Wilson. And I'm going to be taking over from Al to finish the critter profile, as he's currently at home getting some much-deserved R&R. Now, I'm sure you've already watched the news and know what happened. A polar bear wandered around town for a little over 2 hours in the midst of a massive blizzard, destroying 2 buildings, flipping over a dumpster, ripping apart fences, and causing the untimely deaths of Andrew and Kelly Cook, a pair of government agents, and our friend Sarah Gardner. We will be hosting a memorial service for Sarah, Copper, Tucani, and Bluefur on the 4th of those that can attend. Okay. Fuck. Uh-oh. Chelsea, what did you find?
Oh.
Uh-huh.
You click these supervisors.
Mm-hmm.
The green link there. It opens up to another page that has to do with the incident called On the Radar. It's a 10-page story, or not 10 pages, it's 10 stories.
Yeah.
That explains the Nexus policy and how, like, about boring and about, like, the Foundation's connection with all that. I was just minorly scrolling through it.
Yeah, I feel we vaguely looked at this, but I don't think we went into detail.
We did. But chapter 4 of this, Undercover Agent Wilson's Top Volunteer. Haggy is the agent.
So I'm assuming that she was part of the... Well, she wasn't the Chaos Insurgency spy. Then who was she?
No. She's, I believe, one for the Foundation. Yeah.
Okay, so where is this listed under?
Chapter 4. 4. So click on in the incident part of the bear. There is a
Initial
green
report. Where am I clicking?
at the end of the bear, the polar bear's
Oh,
credit
at the
profile.
end. At the end. I clicked the government. Sorry.
No, what?
You can click the
Oh,
government.
oh, no.
You
So,
said the
so
thing. I clicked the government.
no. So sorry. So at the end of the actual critter page, not the tag,
Oh, the
not the
Ursus
tag.
Maximus incident.
Yeah. No.
Or Maritimus. No, 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 no.
No. No.
What the
No.
fuck am I clicking?
Go
How
back
many
to the
things are
go
there to
back to
click?
go back to the critter profile. Let me
Yeah,
finish what I'm saying.
I'm on the critter profile.
Scroll down to the block that Tim Wilson wrote
Yeah.
called the incident.
Oh, the supervisor. I see it now.
The
Okay.
supervisors. That's
Okay,
what I was
sorry.
trying to get you to
I clicked literally everything other
No,
than the supervisors. So
really
4,
did.
undercover agent Wilson's top volunteer. So it's
So she goes by Haggy, is what I was scrolling through to figure out.
oh,
Yeah,
Hagimatsu
because she
Yufuyu.
talks to Albert in this
Yeah.
thing, and they call her Haggy.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
not tied to any mobile task force or SCP containment team. She lost two. Wait, she lost 3 best friends in a containment breach. Not even on an assignment. Oh no, so there's two different. There's two different. Okay, Haggy is the Foundation plant. So
Yeah.
the first woman isn't the plant.
Yeah.
And so under oh no, it's the same person. They just gave her a different name. Okay, that's my brain. I didn't read it fully. I briefly read through it.
Oh, yeah, no,
But
it's all
she was a
Haggy.
Foundation plant at Wilson's
Yeah.
because she lived close. So she's the Foundation's plant.
Okay. Alrighty.
And just this is just more stories about it. But prior to that, prior to that chapter, there's information about like what a nexus is, the nexus that is boring because boring is a nexus. There's like a whole
Wait,
thing.
is she and Albert working? They're both working. It feels like they're both working for the Foundation.
Uh,
Because she tells Albert, "Oh, wait, no.
no.
Sorry."
So earlier underneath like the information about her being in the plant, she was dry cleaning a very small, very cuddly, but unfortunately electric seal when Albert Western, who is Al,
Yeah.
walked up. He was a scraggly stereotype of a man with a graying beard, completely bald head, and hands more than familiar with hard labor. He was her closest companion at the shelter, a fellow volunteer whose off days coincided well with hers. So they're just a
Oh.
coworker. It's just
Okay.
a
Yeah.
coworker.
Okay, so the whole story is coming together because at the very end, the last chapter, um, after hours of debating, at last they came to a conclusion, and after days of diplomacy and interactions, the SCP Foundation and Wilson's Wildlife Solutions came to an agreement. So
Which I
this is the
believe,
boring agreement of normalcy.
yes.
Yeah, so this is like the start of all of the weird shit
Yeah,
at
because it started
Wilson's.
from the bear. It started from the polar bear.
Yeah. I I think they were just like a it feels like they were just a regular like wildlife rescue center
Yeah, it seems like
before.
it. Or at least they might have had like they kept. Oh, hold on. Sorry. Okay, sorry. I saw the name Anderson and I was like, excuse me. Um,
Ooh,
it's not Anders. I just saw Anderson and I was like, Anders. Um,
Anders.
but no, um, it seems like it, or at least they kind of kept creatures that were weird because they're on a nexus point. So
Yeah.
seeing weird things isn't crazy. So they probably just didn't have any that were
No.
dangerous prior to this.
Yeah. So the rest of the incident on the polar bear's page just says, "What you don't know though is what happened after the bear's death. The government took his corpse somewhere. I don't know where. They did stay to help clean up the town, which was awful nice of them. You might have seen their snowplows driving around these past few days. Later that day, a bunch of folks in suits showed up and asked us to have a meeting with them. I really, really didn't want to meet with them, especially during all of this. But the way they said it made it clear that I didn't have much of a choice. So Al, Faye, she came along for emotional support, and I met with them. Apparently, these folks were the ones sending us all the donations, and they wanted to make an agreement with us. They would give us the resources to take care of all the unusual critters in Boring, and we would give them any critter that were too much for us to handle. I accepted, of course. I would have to be dumb not to. There are more critters in Boring than we could ever hope to handle on our own. These supervisors, if people have taken to calling them, will help us make Boring a safer place for person and critter alike. And hopefully, this agreement will prevent anyone else from getting hurt. Before I go, I would like to apologize to all of you, every single one of you. I bit off more than I could chew and dragged you all along with me. It was reckless. I regret it, and I am deeply, deeply sorry. If you would like to sign the card we're getting for Sarah's family, please drop by the new center. I love you all. Yeah, so this literally kickstarted everything.
Which we knew when we had gone through this, that this was what started Wilson's as what it was.
Yeah. The this is like the winter version of Godzilla. Uh-huh.
Grit. Yeah, because
Yeah.
it looks like they had unusual creatures prior to this moment,
Yeah, they just didn't have
because
somebody.
the supervisors were sending them money, like through the bake sales and donating.
Yeah.
So it seems like they probably did. They just didn't have like stupidly dangerous ones.
Yeah, and I mean, chances are, I mean, they've been doing this for a while and having
Mm.
just tabs on them through their monetary donations and the fact that they have agents currently employed at Wilson's. It was just this is the situation where they were like, hey, um, it's a lot more than just like Nuala that can
Or like
like
Darius, like small little
yeah
tiny things.
like weird things. It's like there's some actual stuff out there like Ringo and this polar bear that can cause
Fuck
catastrophic
you up
damage. And they're like, for those things, we want you to know that we will take them off your hands and look
if you come
after
across them.
them. Yeah, because they're just like the kind of like the midpoint between out in the world and, you know, kind of divvying
Yep.
them up between whether they're safe to handle and send back out into the world as adoptable pets or if they're, anomalous and need to be controlled at
Contained.
Wilson's or they need to, have further containment uh,
Yeah.
at the Foundation. There we go. There we go. It only took us this long to finally get to the reason why Wilson's
It took
exists.
so long. Like we knew it out of stream, but on stream it took
Yeah,
us
this is
this long.
yeah. Okay. So Vizzy, which was listed in the nobody tag.
Yes. So I'm curious as to why, because this is one we haven't looked into.
Oh, there's no picture.
Yeah, I know, it's weird.
That's unsettling. Oh, did you want to do it?
Oh, I was gonna let you do it because I just read the last one.
Oh, you did. You did. Oh my god.
So I was like, what?
Wait, you didn't read the polar bear?
Did I not?
I
I
did.
don't know who I am.
No, I read the
Oh,
polar. I was like,
fuck
wait a
you,
minute.
right. I forgot. I'm the dumbass. I can read this one, it's fine. It's short from what I scrolled through. Alright, so this is Vizzy. They are an African pygmy goat. Their primary caretaker is the terrestrial team, specifically Caleb Forrest. Diet is mainly grass, weeds, and other vegetation, and they're housed in Wilson's Wildlife Center Enclosure 7. Creature features. Vizzy is our name for an African pygmy goat we found right here in Boring, Oregon. We were on our monthly picnic outing in the fields when suddenly one of our guys tripped right over the little fellow. Sorry,
Bless
I was
you.
very burpy, and I didn't want to do that directly into my mic.
ASMR.
No, no.
I'm kidding. Don't do that.
Once we managed to get an eye on her, it looked like she'd been out there for weeks. So she was so scratched up and dirty. So we took her into our clinic. As said above, her species originates all the way from Africa, so it was quite the surprise just finding her trotting around our picnic grounds. Luckily, she must have been domesticated, for she adapted to her new home in Enclosure 7 quite swimmingly. Plus, she just loves to be pet. Old Vizzy is an interesting critter. I can read. As she's very talented at sneaking up on folks who don't know her that well. In fact, it's completely impossible to even see her until you start thinking about her. If she hadn't tripped our guy back at the outing, we'd likely never have found her.
Hmm.
Okay. History. Vizzy is one of our most mysterious little critters. After we took her in, we tried asking around and putting up some posters, but nobody in town seemed to recognize her. Luckily, Vizzy's taking quite the loving to us here at Wilson's. But she was quite the handful at first, always getting into places she didn't belong. In fact, the first day we had her, she somehow sneaked out of her enclosure and got into the fridge, where she ate all of our leftover Caesar salad from the employee picnic. Also, me too, Vizzy.
That's so cute,
I can
though.
fuck up some Caesar salad. I vibe with this pygmy goat.
Oh my god.
Ever since more of our employees have gotten to know her, she's been on all of our minds, so it's been harder for her to sneak out. She might be a mischievous little goat, but we love her all the same. Special needs and accommodations. While Vizzy is one of our tamer creatures here at Wilson's, she certainly demands a lot of attention. Luckily, a guy over on our terrestrial team has taken quite a liking to her, and they've been spending a lot of time together recently. It's so cute. That guy is always thinking about Vizzy. It's practically impossible for him to take his eyes off of her.
Sketchy.
That can't be good.
Sketchy.
Yeah. But even with Caleb, she always seems to disappear, sometimes for days on end. She always comes back, of course, but it's very worrying. We've been trying to figure out how she gets out in the first place, if she has some unusuality we don't know about, but we don't have a clue as to what it could be. We're all very concerned about her. Sometimes Caleb even goes and sleeps out in the enclosure to make sure she doesn't disappear on us again. But even then, she vanishes out of nowhere. He just loves, I hope, just loves this pygmy.
Please,
So
nothing
I
bad
really hope it's
happens.
just that.
Please hope nothing bad
Please.
happens to this man.
God. She always seems to be very happy whenever she gets back, so we suppose that whatever's going she's going is safe. But still, many of us know Vizzy's never going to abandon us, but it's very scary. The possibility that when she disappears, we'll never see her again. As much as we want to be able to be watching her 24/7, we simply don't have the resources. Heck, cameras don't even pick her up unless they're being actively watched by someone who's familiar with her. That's not much. There's not much else we can do, but we pray she'll come back. Notes
Hmm.
about Vizzy. This is mostly directed to all of our new members who aren't familiar with Vizzy, but you may have noticed coming in that there's no image of her. Well, since you've been reading up on her, maybe you'll be able to see her now. Take a
Oh
look.
no. What is this?
Now you're thinking of me with a little heart.
Where?
Click
I
it.
don't.
Click, take
I
a look.
I did. It's blank.
No, it's not.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I clicked the link. I thought it was a link. Now you're
Oh, did you
thinking
open
of
it like in
me.
the. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You have to
That
open it in the
that
thing.
scared me a little bit. I was like, oh no.
So
Oh,
the
she's
funny
so
thing about that
cute.
is, that's actually really interesting. Can I. That's really interesting. I wonder if that's a thing that they did on purpose.
What
Where
the?
if you just scroll through the document, you can't just open the image in a different place.
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Anyways, now you're thinking of me from Vizzy.
Thank you, Vizzy.
Um, weird. Anyways, so oh boy, all right,
Oh, jeez.
Vizzy incident. June 2nd, 2019, entered by Caleb Forrest. After her seventh disappearance, Vizzy appeared in Enclosure 7 once more. She was snoozing right in her little bed, and I went to give her a little pat when I saw a small sheet of paper and a gray satchel sitting next to her pillow. Yes, I know, I spoil her. So I looked in the satchel first, and it was filled with almost $600 in $5 bills, a bunch of random change, plus a bit of currency from a few foreign countries. There's pounds, ruples, rupees, bolivars, and that's just from what I've looked through so far. Anyways, then I read the note. Let me upload a scan of it here. Hello there. Thank you for finding and taking care of Cognito, though I think I've heard her assigned handler call her Vizzy? For me, without asking questions. I am very busy most of the time, so I can't bring her along everywhere. I hope what's in the satchel covers her pet sitting costs for the last few months and the next coming weeks. I'll be dropping by soon enough to visit her. Again, thank you. Nobody in particular. So, very busy is a link that you can click.
Very busy is nobody's observations on arson, activism, and mustaches.
Okay, this is new. This
I
is a
think
new
this
one.
is
I can read
I
this.
think this is the same person that was writing the other one.
Yeah, I can read this really quick.
Yeah, go for it.
It's not super long. So April 11th, 1993 at 3:50 a.m. Getting a beeper alert at 1 in the morning was definitely a bit inconvenient, but considering that it said a whole MCD faculty went up in flames, I'm glad I actually woke up for it. Now that I've actually seen it, woo wee was it a wreck. Woo wee!
Woo wee.
I didn't need that phonetically spelled out. Like, that was not
Woo
what I expected.
woo wee.
Apparently, it was their cloning faculty, which makes me think it might be on purpose, not an accident. I've had a few ideas for who could have done it: a former employee who wanted revenge, a customer who got swindled, probably unlikely, wouldn't be able to get inside without getting noticed, or an activist that infiltrated the facility. If I can
Woo wee.
find whoever did it, they could definitely be a good ally for the future. Anyone who wants to take down MCD and actually figured out how to hit them is someone worth being friends with. So okay, so they are definitely not working with MCD. They're
Yeah,
definitely not working with the foundation.
they are their own
So I'm
entity.
curious. Yeah, and I don't think they're working with the Chaos Insurgency. So they're
No.
their own thing.
Yeah, it's just nobody.
Yeah. Figured out that whoever this activist is, maybe activists, could be a team. They probably would go after some customers. Liberation in the name of the revolution and such. Shame that I couldn't get my hands on any sales records. That would make my guesswork a lot easier. Just check the Moore estate, considering they were a repeat customer. No signs of anyone breaking in. Left a bug to keep watch on the place just in case. If it's a hit while I'm gone, I'll know. Houses are checked. So the Moore estate's been checked. The Coffrey estate, Waterbury estate, Thorowood estate, Gunderson estate, and Zomonok. I think that's how it's spelled. Estate. So same day at 9:38 a.m. And here I was thinking that I wouldn't be finding anything today. Driving up to the Thorowood estate, to my luck, I happened to arrive right in the middle of a failed car chase. A car stuffed full of clones had hit a tree just off the property, and there were several guards running after it. Two not clones were in the back, both completely knocked out. One looked a bit more rough than the other, had a pretty cool mustache too. Made him look a bit like Mark Twain. Twain? Especially with that haircut. God, I wish I could grow a mustache. That's I love just like the little tangents. They're my favorite. Woo wee! And then
Woo
God, I
wee.
wish I could grow a mustache.
And I need to find a
Like, it's not
Waffle
that
House.
important.
And like I
Yeah,
have to
I need
find
to
a
find a
Waffle
Waffle House.
House. Maybe I'll
There
go to
aren't
the
any Waffle Houses
Denny's.
here.
Oh man, there's no IHOP. Damn it.
But I do love that.
That's so good.
Fired back in the guards and tried to unload all of the passengers. I figured that one of the two people in the backseat was the arsonist, so leaving the clones behind would probably not earn me any brownie points. It was a tight squeeze, but we all fit, even that Siamese one. Clones insisted on dropping the guy without the mustache off at a hospital. When I asked about the other guy, they said not to worry about him, thinking that Mr. Mustache is my guy. April 13th, 1993 at 3 p.m., so 2 days later, Mustache is still out cold. Good thing for him that he's trying to liberate clone nurses because they were able to bandage up his arms. Clone nurses?
Clone nurses.
What?
Mm.
Turns out they got pretty badly hurt trying to fight off a guard dog. Clones aren't really ones for quality conversation, but I at least got a few words out of them. Turns out Mustache is named Gene. Amazing.
I love Gene. Gene the mustache Mark Twain. We're here for it.
The arsonist,
The
Mark
arsonist.
Twain.
Gene the mustached arsonist Mark Twain. Also a not clone.
Also not
Also not a
comma,
clone.
also not clone.
Comma, also not a clone. We love Gene. I want to
We
write out his
love to
name.
see it.
Oh,
Um,
man.
Turns out Mustache is named Gene, and he was trying to bust them out. Disappointed that his name wasn't something cooler, but at least that they gave me a pretty solid conviction that he was the activist. He's disappointed that this man's name is Gene.
Damn it,
Get
Gene.
fucked, Gene.
Damn it, Gene.
Okay. The other guy was Mr. Thorowood himself, who was shot by a 226 BPD, whatever that is. Something that seems to put people in comas, I guess. Might be good to get one myself. Looked through Mustache's briefcase in the meantime. Clones didn't stop me, so I figured it was okay. Blueprints, memos, sales records, just about everything that a person would need to have in order to find clones. If this guy isn't my guy, then I don't know what to think. So April 15th, 2 days later, 1993, at 2:55 p.m. Mustache woke up today, and I confronted him about the briefcase. He spilled before I could even tell him that I was a friend. Turns out he was the activist and a former employee.
Mm.
Friends of the guy who made the cloning machine and couldn't bear to see what people were doing with them. Twitchy guy, but at least he's got enough smarts to commit arson against MCD and not get caught by them afterwards. He smells awful, though. Had to give him a breath mint before he clouded up my flat with vomit breath. Mustache told me, get fucked. Get fucked, Gene. I also love he hasn't referred to him as Gene.
No,
He's only referred to him as Mustache.
Woo. Cecil goes, woo-wee, Gene. Woo-wee, Gene. There needs to be a Lotus House NPC named Gene, I swear to God. Woo-wee, Gene.
We're never going to be able to function if that happens, Jason. We can't do that.
No, that's why I'm writing it down.
We're literally never going to be able to refer to him as Gene. We have to refer to him as Woo-wee Gene.
And if he doesn't have a mustache, so we can call him Mustache, what's the point?
What's the fucking point, you know?
Oh my God.
Sorry. I also love, again, he hasn't referred to him as Gene.
Yeah, no.
At all.
His name is Mustache.
Mustache told me about what his plans are next. He's apparently trying to find a place to put the clones so they can be safe. Didn't think to have a proper safe house before robbing that estate, I guess. Honestly, not what I expected when I thought about the kind of person who could stick it to the MCD. Might be good to keep him around here for a bit. Maybe MCD will mark the whole thing as an industrial accident.
Cecil said Leland's name is actually Gene.
Oh shit, bro, really?
His name is Leland Gene. That's his name.
It has to be now. Even if it's not, it has to be.
Leland Gene Mark Twain.
You didn't include all of it, Jason. Come on. Leland Gene.
Leland Gene Mark Twain, the mustache arsonist, also not a clone.
There you go. Thank you.
Yeah.
So a day later at 12:48. All right, turns out MCD actually had a pretty solid lead on what happened with that fire. Dumb bitch. Mustache left behind a note saying he did it to Rupert Carter himself. God, that's such a pretentious name. Yeah, I agree. Thanks.
What is that? Ruprecht?
I guess
I don't
it's
know.
weird. Carter himself. So it's Carter of MCD.
Yeah.
Not a conductive way.
Oh, he spelled conducive wrong. Conducive with a C.
I don't know.
This man can
way
spell.
to get away. Not a conducive way to get away with arson if you say that you did it. Confronted him about it, and he said that he wanted to make a statement. At the very least, he's in the mindset of an activist, even if his actions don't always reflect it. He's got potential, but I'm not sure what to do about him. Don't want to get myself compromised while people are searching for him, but I don't want to belittle him and stop the revolution. I'll sleep on it. For now, I'm a bit hungry. All this talk about MCD has made me want a different kind of Vicky D's. I love these journals.
Also, just a thought, because my brain is starting to think a little bit.
Really?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Wow, what a concept. It's reminding me of the Series of Unfortunate Events movie.
Okay.
Where the aunt or whatever left that note where she misspelled things.
Yeah.
Do you think, I don't know if that's a thing, but maybe after reading it, go back and see what letters were misspelled?
I'm gonna be honest.
Probably
I don't
not.
think
Probably
that's
not.
what's happening. Because he hasn't misspelled very much.
Maybe it's, I don't know.
And it's been, I mean, we can always try to see what's happening with it.
Yeah, I don't know. My brain just was thinking it was a...
No, it's not a bad thing at all.
Yeah.
Because it happened with Twain, in parentheses, Twain with an E question mark.
Yeah.
And then it happened with, because it just seems like he's just, because they're journal entries. He's just writing to himself.
Yeah, but why would he, I mean, I'm probably thinking too into it, but...
I mean, it doesn't hurt to try. because the Rupert, he didn't know how to spell it at first, it looks like, and then conducive, I don't think he knew how to spell it because it's mistakes that are very normal. Is it a C or an S? Is it Twain with an E or without an E? But it's worth trying.
Mm-hmm.
I'll read the last one while you're looking through that. So April 30th, so near the end of the month, at 5:22 p.m. Finally got things arranged for Gene and the clones. He called them Gene.
Oh my God, Gene!
He's gotten to know him. It's been like a
Oh yeah,
week.
they're friends now.
Like
They
a
went to
week or
they
two
went.
at this point, so he's
Yeah,
gotten to know
they
him.
they built a friendship based on Mickey D's.
Yes.
They got some
And
burgers and
the
fries and now
search
they.
for an IHOP, a Denny's, and a fucking Waffle House.
Yeah, they basically spent
Can I
about
get
a.
a waffle?
Can
Can
I
I please get
please
a
get a
waffle?
waffle? Sorry, nobody, but you can't have a waffle.
God damn it!
I just want a
Um,
waffle.
So finally got things arranged for Gene and the clones to fly to the States, have a contact over there that can set them up with a proper base of operations. Gene gave me, so they're not in the US for this. It's
Mm-mm.
interesting. Gene gave me a bit more perspective on his motives. Turns out that those clones weren't just used for keeping old people alive. They were basically sex slaves for rich people. Fun. MCD
Mm.
knew that too, and they kept making those clones anyways. I offered a few ideas on how to stop MCD beyond just trying to rob houses, considering how well the first one went. He worked for MCD, so he knows business. I pitched the idea of him trying to make a rival company of his own, push out business. He seemed to like that. Promised I'd invest in them if they actually go through with it. We shook on it. They're all heading over to take a private flight in a few hours. In the meantime, I'm going to try to grow some facial hair. So that was what he was up to.
Yeah,
They couldn't bring her along with. Nobody
yeah.
in particular, nobody hub is where that leads to.
So chances are, when she would disappear, she would go to him.
I guess. So I opened up I opened up into the nobody tab, the nobody
The
hub.
hub, yeah.
So there is a full account of an incident in 1954 called Nobody First Appearance. The text detail information on the supposed group or individual entity referred to as a nobody. The information is vague and inconclusive. Known information includes no two individuals operating under the alias Nobody have been active at the same time. Frequently, though not always, Nobody appears to be an elderly male human of European descent dressed in a gray or black suit. Nobody often provides unwarranted assistance to the Foundation. In other cases, nobody will attempt to undermine the Foundation. Nobody is generally nonviolent and non hostile towards Foundation personnel. Agents are required to immediately report an individual matching this description or self identifying as nobody. Caution is recommended with dealing with this entity. Command will decide appropriate reaction to nobody on a case by case basis. And then there's a letter from nobody to the Foundation on the hub.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. To get in contact with them, I guess. Collected data.
Um,
Ooh.
yeah, so the so I'm guessing it's some kind of SCP because he said the nobody says in the note that he sent saying I'd also like to inform you that I currently act alone. However, it's come to my attention that there may be others that share my unique qualities. In the future, I hope to work alongside them, although it's equally likely that I will always be merely an individual.
Yeah, what was. Hold on, I'm gonna look at Darius again to see what. Oh, it's the story of Darius.
Is it?
I guess, because it's a story. Like an actual story and not Darius's
Is it?
page.
Oh, that's is it tagged with nobody?
Yeah. Oh, what else is it
Oh
tagged
shit.
with? It's just tagged with nobody. Wait,
What?
it's just
The
tagged with.
Wilson's Wildlife Critter page?
No. There's
What?
a
Where?
story called Dare Drugs Are Really Extreme on the Nobody Hub under documented
Oh yeah.
accounts. And it's not
Yeah.
Darius. That's weird. Okay, that's weird. I'm also really here for Pretty Magic Gaiden Mecha Tokyomon Demon Ninja Sailor Clef. That sounds amazing.
What? That was a lot of
Under
words.
Under Nobody, it's a story. Pretty
Oh,
Magic
really?
Gaiden Mecha Tokyomon Demon Ninja Sailor Clef.
All right.
What is this even? It's just a story? Oh my god. What is what?
What is-
It's uh it's a script.
It's a script, yeah.
Hold on. This is really good. Can we read? It's really short.
Ah, you can absolutely. I'll let you
This
read
is
it
so
because I'm
funny.
scrolling through nobody.
This is so
Woo! I
funny.
almost knocked over my heater. Everything's
Ooh.
fine.
Exterior. Puffer
Fine. Shut up.
Kitten's Gentleman's Club Day. The exterior of the building explodes as Clefson is tossed through the window like a weekly shonen jump tossed through a shoji. He hits the ground, bounces once, twice, rolls to a stop in front of a large figure. The figure's face is hidden. Who could it be? Pan up, and we see that it is the last person anyone could have expected. Nobody has survived the brutal beating he received in the Gearniverse. Okay. And to survive, has outfitted his entire body with cybernetic enhancements, the most cutting edge of science available. He is now Mecha Nobody. Clef leaps up, does a fucking triple backflip off the ground, and roundhouse kicks Mecha Nobody right in the face. The Shadow Machine figure stumbles and falls.
Right.
Clef darts away. Noise behind makes him turn. He sees Night Queen Ultra Back X pushing her way through the storm front. His attacks have done absolutely no damage. How could this be? Mecha Nobody has recovered and is advancing on Clefson, along with Night Queen Ultra Black X. Oh, okay, they changed it to. Okay, great. Wrote it wrong. Clefson is surrounded. Clefson glares down at the Keter bracelets. They are almost dim and cracked, and he knows there's not much time before they fade, and he loses his pretty they spelled that wrong. Magic Guided Mega Tokyomon Demon Ninja Sailor transformation. And when that happens, he will die because he will not be strong. There is only one thing Clefson must do. He must use 20 times power. Clefson screams as the energy flows out of him. His aura is too strong. The enemies are forced back. The walls begin to crack. His power is too much. Site 19 will not be able to survive it. But Clefson keeps going. 10 times power. 11. 12. It is too much power. He must attack. He leaps forward, smashes a mighty Gaiden Serpent Fang 2-hand 5 fingers pointed death strike into Night Queen Ultra Black X's chest. She is sent flying back into the Gentleman's Club and crushes a stripper. Clef is a 17 times power and is still going. The Keter bracelets are about to crack. He leaps at Mecha Nobody for one final attack. His most powerful move, the secret technique learned in the Temple of Mulak, the final motion Mother Weeper tribute smash. No one has ever survived it before. He smacks Mecha Nobody in the face. Clef has won, but no. Mecha Nobody looks up. He grins. He spits out blood and a tooth. Is that all you got? He reaches up and grabs Clefson's arm, just as he does. The Keter bracelets shatter. Clefson's energy disappears. Mecha Nobody squeezes. Okay. Clefson's arm cracks. Clefson screams in pain. This is the end. He cannot do any more. There is no more power left. He is about to die. Great. Cut to behind him. We see Night Queen Ultra Black X standing up. She's still alive somehow. She advances. These two villains are about to kill Clefson. Then there's a light, and a figure flies down from above. She slams into the pavement in a cool triangle drop pose, her shiny black hair waving in the wind, swirling with energy. We are able to see she has on her a set of Keter bracelets. She looks up. Her dark green eyes shine. Pretty Magic Guided Mecha Tokyomon Demon Ninja Sailor Clefella. Get your hands off him. Zoom in. Because he is, zoom in, my roommate. Fade to black. Roll credits. Tune in next time for the stunning conclusion of Season 17.
I was half paying attention to that.
I know, it's
I'm
fine.
gonna be honest with you. So, okay, so I was reading through.
It's really good.
So, I don't think Darius connected to this because Darius is Did you know drugs are really expensive?
Oh,
This is Did you know drugs are really
really
extreme? Or
extreme.
drugs, it's Dare is drugs are really extreme. With Darius, it's Mr. Dare, drugs are really expensive. But this story is basically I think it was a Halloween prompt or something. It was a Halloween story
Yeah.
they were writing. But the end of it is not important. It doesn't matter. It's like a team that gets sent into this town called Eventide that is controlled by the Bavarin Illuminati. It looks like that basically this Illuminati, under the guise of the city's government, have forbidden groups that specialize and focus in anomalous from entering the city, including the Foundation.
Uh
And
huh.
it's basically it is a nexus. This city is a nexus, and it's in Oregon. But the weird thing about it is, at the very end, um, there's a woman that gives Mr. Wexley, Jacob Wexley, a like letter, and it says, "I hope you enjoyed my Halloween surprise. I certainly did. Your reactions are priceless. I'm preparing for an even bigger surprise next year. Get ready for it, or you might get blown away. Happy Halloween." What the hell does this mean? Asked Leah, is one of the characters, as
Hmm.
she fidgeted in her chair. Why go to all these links just to give this to us? Makes no sense whatsoever. She's mocking us. She may have destroyed all the apples. It's part of the story. But we still did a shit job of it. You mean with all the other nexuses? Wait, you're saying that she started all of this? Leo looked to the director as he looked over the message for the 100th time. She's warning us something's coming next year. He paused, putting down the letter. Like it or not, things have changed. The Illuminati, the Babaran one, is aware of us now. The nexuses were burnt, the foundation failed, and next year is going to be even worse. So what now, sir? Leah stood up. Forward this to Site 87 and the rest of the nexuses. Tell them to prepare. Dr. Raymond Druid stood up. Halloween's coming. This was written last year in September. We may see a part two potentially to
Interesting.
it
Yeah. Huh.
because it looks like this is part of a like Halloween hub or something. It
Yeah,
doesn't
I
have a
think.
hub. It's weird.
Oh, that's some story.
It's only tagged with tail and nobody.
Yeah, a lot of these are just nobody specific. Like there's no other
Yeah, I don't think it's
anything.
connected directly to nobody. Nobody.
Yeah.
Because I don't. Let me see something on. Let me go back to the hub. If it's in the thing, it's in the hub, then it'll be a different story. But I don't think it is. Let me see. It's not there. It's not there. Documented accounts. It's underneath the hub.
Huh? What?
The story, the dare drugs are really extreme. It's
Oh, yeah.
documented under the hub.
Yes, that's where I found it.
Yeah, if you like go to the actual hub, it's documented accounts is that story.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, I was just reading on the how to write a nobody, like the information on
I'm
the
looking
hub.
at that too.
It's really interesting, like what they're saying here.
Yeah,
It's like just saying that the nobody has to have ambiguous goals. Just you can't make them too good, too, evil,
yeah,
mystery, weave them into, other stories.
yeah. They're tangled webs. Nobody is often involved in everything. Keep it mysterious.
And then they have like, source codes for how to write it up.
Oh, and then fate and control. This is a big one I tried to focus on in my writing. When nobody appears in a story, it's always significant, and there is often no real way to fight against nobody. Usually, even the Almighty Foundation has to just allow him to do what he wants.
Interesting.
And then objects,
Yeah,
and then the source code.
because they're saying that you can't write him as a group of interest, as one of like the regular group hubs, because he's just
He's just its own
is.
thing.
Yeah, that's interesting. I like that. But that's cool how that's linked up with Vizzy.
Yeah.
And we read Wobbles, didn't we?
I don't know if we read it on stream. I think we did. I'm pretty sure we did read it on stream because I think we looked at it because it was connected. It was talked about in someone else's. I think it was it the bird?
Um,
Is it Cappy? Not Cappy. No, not Cappy. Sorry. It was connected to one
Oh
of them.
no, you know why? You know why we read it? Because because of Al.
Right, so we didn't read this on
Because
stream.
Al found Wobbles because this is the one that links to the shark punching center
Yes. I don't think we read. Yeah, we didn't read this on stream because that we went down that hole of the
at
shark
like
punching
1 in the
center, and I
morning.
broke. And I
Yeah,
broke as a
that
person.
was that was tough. That was tough. Yeah. So let's do Wobbles.
Yeah,
And I
I
think
read the last one. So.
this is the last I think critter profile in the main group.
Yes, in the main group, yes.
Yep. So important. This critter
And then there's
profile
some smaller ones.
is super secret.
Oh no, there's Zargoth, and then there's the two danger ones.
And then they have ones further down that are like people that have interacted with us,
Yeah,
and
so there's
the extra ones.
the last. There's three more after Wobbles. There's Zargoth, Incinedeer, and Trilobits.
Yeah, then there are other ones because if you keep scrolling
Yes,
down.
and then there's people. There's the cat one, the spooky well, and then Owen.
Well, there's Trunko.
Oh, I forgot about Trunko.
There's Trunko. There's Mar.
Yeah, that's the cat one.
Owen. And I think that's it. Yeah.
And then there's Wilson's Abroad, which includes Rescue Mission, the Spooky Well, as well.
Oh, got you. We have a hydrate and a posture check.
Oh, thanks. You
Here you
can
go.
see me this time, so I have to do these things.
Oops.
Trust me, I don't need the hydrate. I've been hydrating whenever I'm not reading or talking, so. Because
Okay.
my voice has been fucked recently, so.
Valid. Okay. In light of recent events, the operating staff at Wilson's have decided it may be for the best to keep information about Wobbles under wraps. If you do not have permission from myself, Alice, or Al, please hit that X button at the top right of the screen and check out any of the other critter profiles. I'm being serious here, folks. If I catch you reading this without permission, I will send you home early without pay. I don't want to do this, but believe me, I will. Trusting in you, Faywin Wilson.
So, for context, Alice is who Tim remarried.
Yeah, I think Alice is
first married. One of the wives.
What? Yeah, either the first or second wife.
And then Al, we know, works
Also,
for the company. It seems like Tim is
who's
not alive
Anna?
here. I don't know. That one I wasn't sure
Because
about.
with
I don't
the
think
well, I mean, they mentioned her
yeah.
in the last one where Tim was like, Anna and I have something. Like we've been worried about. It was Jeffrey. It said that Tim and Anna were. So who the hell's Anna?
Quickly figure it out while you're reading Wobbles. Because
Okay.
we've read this one, so.
Yep. So name, Wobbles. Species, spotted wobblegong. Primary caretaker, aquatics team, Albert Westron. Diet of anchovies, crabs, mollusks, and sardines. He absolutely loves tuna as a treat. Housed at Marine Enclosure 1. Creature features. Wobbles is our name for a wobblegong we've come into custody of recently. You read that right. A wobblegong. More specifically, he's a spotted wobblegong. If you don't know what a wobblegong is, it's a type of carpet shark only found near Western Australia. That's right, Wobbles is an Australian shark. Now that's something you don't see every day in Oregon. Being a type of carpet shark, Wobbles is excellent at hiding. He uses the carpet-like pattern on his back to blend into the ocean floor. He also uses the beard-like protrusions on his jaw to blend into plant life, making it harder for prey and predator to spot him. Sometimes, even we can't find him in his enclosure. As you might imagine, that makes it a little hard for old Albert to keep an eye on him. A carpet shark? He is the carpet shark. That makes Wobbles, or what makes Wobbles strange is that he's impossible to touch. I don't mean that he's just slippery or aggressive. It is literally impossible to touch his skin. No matter what we do, we can't grab, pet, or caress him. Anything that tries coming into contact with him seems to just bounce right off. We're not exactly sure if he's fully in control of this ability, but one thing is clear, Wobbles does not like being touched. There is Wobbles. Wobbles doing his best to blend in. We first found out about Wobbles after some folks over at Cannon Beach started making waves about a strange-looking critter making the rounds. They said something about how it would slip right through nets and almost repel touch. There were also rumors about some shady folks trying to catch him, and failing, so we set out to see if we could grab him and give Wobbles a proper home. As you can probably tell, we succeeded. But I'll be darned if our little Salation friend didn't drive us nuts in the process. Gill netting didn't work, lobster cages were too small for Wobbles, and long line fishing could potentially hurt other critters, so we didn't even bother trying that. Alex suggested we baited him with a magnetic object, then turned on a high powered magnet, but we don't have that kind of budget here. Just as we were running out of ideas, old Albert suggested we trap him in a tank, as it looked like he wasn't able to displace water. We quickly got to work and submerged the biggest tank we could get our hands on and loaded up the bait and set up the lid to close at our command. A few hours of patiently waiting and monitoring the camera feed, and presto, we were able to capture our new friend and bring him home. Wobbles made sure to let us know he didn't like anyone closing their hands near him, as the poor little guy would swim away the moment we shut our hands, even to grab some chum for him. He's gotten more trusting around people recently, especially old Albert, whose arthritis won't let him close his hands all the way. A match made in heaven. Despite having made a friend, Wobbles is still pretty elusive. It seems like our sneaky friend highly values his privacy, which is something we can respect. Special needs and accommodations. Wobble shares his enclosure with a few other animals, namely a pair of dolphins, some harbor seals, and an octopus. He doesn't need much, but we did add some hiding places for him since he seems to be wary of everything and everyone for the moment. Every once in a while, we'll have to change around the locations of the hiding places as he'll only use them each a few times. It looks like he can be a little picky. Edit. After the unfortunate incident on June 22nd, 2025, we've had to start vetting our volunteers a little more thoroughly. It's really putting a strain on the old checkbook and slowing things down a tick, but it's worth it to make sure the critters at this here center are safe and sound. Notes about Wobbles. Though we were originally a little anxious about introducing some other aquatic life into Wobbles' enclosure, we quickly realized that it was not a big deal. Even if those seals or the octopus wanted to make a meal out of him, they'd have to try catching him first, which is a tall order. Situation report. On June 19th, 2025, we accepted a volunteer form from a guy no one had seen around Boring before, but he claimed to be very experienced with sharks. We gave him a ring and asked him to come by on the 22nd. When he showed up on that first day of volunteer work, he ran straight for Marine Enclosure 1 while yelling, "Taste my fist, you Salation wretch!" for the Shark Punching Center. Fortunately, old Albert and I sprung into action. We tackled down the perpetrator with some good old WSW, Wilson's Stranger Wranglin', or Stranglin' for short. Oh boy. And saved the day just as he was about to dive in for poor Wobbles. He might have been an expert in Salation pugilism, but clearly not versed in Homo sapien engagement. We handed him over to the supervisors, who seemed just as confused as we were about the odd fellow, but they seemed pretty interested to learn more about his fellow shark-punching lunatics. Anyway, it looks like we can no longer trust people like we used to. It appears we've slacked on our vetting system. The proper people have been given a stern talking to, the same as I have given myself for letting this slide. I'm going to personally crack down on the vetting system starting Monday. In the meantime, I'm going to password protect this critter profile. I don't know if those shark-punching creeps are still out there, but if for some reason they're reading this, this is Wilson's Wildlife Solutions, where all critters are welcome, not Wilson's Salation Wrestling. So we looked into the shark-punching center last time we read this, and that was a mistake.
God, it was a whole thing.
It was bad. It was bad. But it's hilarious, though.
What did I just stumble across? Hold on.
What are you looking at? Wait, what are you looking
So
at?
I was trying to figure out Anna.
Oh, Anna's
and,
stuff.
Who she was. I haven't found out yet, but I found a group. It's so funny because of the audio that's been stuck in my head for so long.
The audio?
There's a group that is connected from TikTok. There's a group that somehow is connected to the SCP and Wilson's called the Castaways.
Oh yeah, we've heard about that.
Yeah, I just don't remember what they are.
I don't think we ever found out what they are. Their names were just mentioned. That was it.
They've been mentioned so many times too. And I'm like, fuck, because it's mentioned so much, and like once we actually go through the stories, it's been mentioned a ton in the stories. I'm like, fucking shit.
I'm not sure what the Castaways are, though. That's the like. I know that. Have they been mentioned in critter profiles, or has it just been?
Don't
like, story
remember.
bits?
We've read so much information.
Is there a tag for the Castaways?
No, That's why I don't know what they are, because I would
Oh,
have just
that's weird.
directly gone to the tag.
That's very strange.
Oh my eye is twitching. Oh god.
Oh, I know when that happens. Also,
The
yes,
worst.
Stranglin. Wilson's Stranger Wranglin. Stranglin.
I'm pretty sure that Anna is just someone that worked with them early on
Possibly.
and may not
Was there?
anymore.
There was a list somewhere that had a
It
name
was
of
one
all of the
there was one
employees.
for there was one I don't know if it was for Wilson's. There was one for the Wondertainment. There's a Wondertainment hub.
Yeah.
I just stumbled across now.
Okay, I found it. So Anna, right?
Oh right, that I forgot about that. I remember what you're talking about. I'm a dumb bitch.
Yeah. No, you're fine. You're fine.
I
You're fine.
opened up that. I know what I did. That was so. This is from the was it the one that we think is the original start of it, and then they just moved it to its own hub? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, it was the Dark Stuff's brand new at the time of writing hub. Wilson's Wildlife Solution stuff. So it's
I gotta
just
find that. That was so long ago
that was
that we found
forever
that.
ago. Let me. Do you need the link?
Please, because I don't know where it is anymore.
Yeah, let me.
And now the audio is stuck in my head yet again. Let's go, boys.
I know it's gonna. Boopity boop. Everyone can see all of the random things that are in our Discord. Huzzah!
Actually, no, that's not that random because we were looking over MetaHuman.
That's true. Yeah. So this was. When did they write this? I mean, Anna's not on the list. I don't think.
This was
Because this is the
updated
one.
last in 2018.
Because this is the one that also has a general timeline of events on it for because we were looking up when Tim divorces Audrey
Well,
and
we
marries
we see
Alice.
that later too, though, because we see it in the Wonderful World Hub.
Yeah, but this was just something that we were looking up at the time.
So Sarah is mentioned here, which we saw died. What I was gonna say is the castaways are mentioned here, but they don't give information.
Yeah, then there's nothing on there about Anna, so maybe she is just a random. Yeah, because then when they wrote up Albert, that's when we clicked on the arthritis and then it led us to Wobbles, which led to the Shark
Yeah.
Punching Center.
We learned a lot that day.
Yeah. Yeah, we sure did. uh
Miscellaneous anymore, because they're actually brought into the story.
oh, so apparently there was going to be a story at some point for an SCP that doesn't exist. Or maybe it does. What is this?
What are you looking at?
Oh, it does exist. There was going to be a story, according to this outline here, about employees that had a crow. There was like a crow.
The crow fast food thing.
Yeah.
We had looked into that last time.
Did we?
We had because that was something we came across. We were like, what the fuck are they talking about?
Oh yeah. What the fuck is the friendipedes?
So there is the SCP is real. It's just not linked.
Yeah.
And it quite literally, it's in a Burger King.
Oh god damn it.
So it's.
God damn it.
Oh, okay. This actually gives answers. Hold on. So this actually gives answers to a lot of questions. So they were full containment is deferred to GOI 466, which is Wilson's Wildlife Solutions. As per the Boring Agreement, in summary of the Fourth Amendment of the Boring Agreement, instances of this SCP are to be provided with activities that emulate employment and provided pay.
The wait, the crows? Oh, you're kidding me.
And
Oh my god.
I'm not. So, in case of a containment breach in which SCP 3466, which is the SCP, is unable to be retrieved by Wilson's, Site 64's local MTF, so Mobile Task Force, Beta 4, in parentheses, castaways, is to assume full containment of the SCP and keep them within the confines of Site 64's aviary enclosure.
Sorry.
Site 64 is to implement backup containment procedures. What?
I'm laughing at this call. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, are
This
you listening to
call.
the phone call?
No, I'm reading it. It just says,
Okay.
"Hello, you've reached Wilson's Wildlife. Is this about the birds? Yes, it have other people been attacked? They're outside my house and picking at the windows. Please remain calm. They're smart. They're damn smart they are. They baited me. They left Burger King outside my door and attacked when I picked it up."
Amazing. Okay, so hold on. Okay, hold on. I'm getting into a thing.
Man, that's so good.
So Site 64 is something that we've seen several times because it's the one that's closest to Boring, Oregon.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. Trying to see. So sorry, I'm trying to read through this quickly. Yeah, because Site 64 was actually built because Three Portlands, which is where Boring is,
Yeah.
was so active with so much fucking shit that they decided to build Site 64.
And I mean that makes sense because they can't contain everything
No.
there. And I think that's another reason why they, formed that agreement with Wilson's, because they're like, we can't do everything. There's so much shit going on here.
So Site 64 was updated with additional facilities in the 80s and the 90s, but activity did not pick back up until 2007, following the discovery of Anderson's robotics group of interest, which we've seen several times.
Wait, is Anderson's working out of Oregon?
So it says, following the discovery of Anderson Robotics Group of Interest, due to Anderson Robotics' use of Portland, Oregon, and the Three Portlands as a headquarter, Mobile Team Force Gamma 13 Asimov's Lawbringers was created and based at Site 64. The spike in local anomalous activity associated with the robotic company founding prompted the construction of Site 64's anomalous materials and anomalous electronics labs, as well as promoting additional mobile task force to relocate to the facility, making it the region's foremost task force staging point.
Did you read what the mobile? Okay, I might have heard you or not heard you. But did you notice the thing about the castaways?
It's a mobile task force, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's why, and I opened up to Site 64's local, like the Site 64 thing.
Yeah. Which now makes me think that when nobody was scoping out Wilson's then mentioned the mobile task force that was there.
It might have been castaways.
It was probably the castaways.
Yeah, because that's all that's on there about Anderson's. And then Site 64 is designated as the main point of contact between the Foundation and the Wilson's Wildlife.
Yeah. Okay. That makes more sense.
So I still don't know who Anna is. I don't think it matters because it doesn't seem like she's in any of the earlier ones that we've read.
Yeah, I mean, if we run into her, we run into her.
Portland's is clickable. There's stories that are connected to it. Oh, there's so fucking much about Three Portlands. Holy shit.
We'll come back to Three Portlands.
Yeah, we're not doing that now because there's so fucking much.
Yeah, there's way too much.
God.
Well, I mean, I guess this... Do we want to... I think we have time for one more critter profile.
Okay, sure. If you want to.
Well, I mean, it's your turn. You get
Okay,
Zargoth. You get Zargoth, Destroyer of Dimensions.
I gotta get back to Wilson's. Give me 1 second. I went down a rabbit hole. Give me 1 moment. I'm so sorry.
You sure did.
I always do.
What is the
So
Olivia?
Zargoth,
Wait,
destroyer of dimensions.
Olivia wrote, "Welcome to Wilson's Wildlife. Please ignore the random fast food. The crows are at it again."
I love that. That's amazing.
That's so good.
Okay, so there is, what is this? This is those twisted pines. I do actually want to leave that open because it's actually important, apparently. So important. This critter profile is horrifically gruesome. This is also one that we read off of stream, so this is a fun one.
This is good.
Reading this profile might be disturbing to some due to Zargoth, Destroyer of Dimensions, ability to get into your head. As far as we can tell, these effects are mind destroying and short lasting, so likely a lot to worry about. But if you are wary to have even a modicum of your brain shared with an intruder, I recommend caution. From Fayowen Wilson. Do you wish to proceed? Yes, we fucking do,
We sure
Fayowen.
do.
Thank you so much. Critter profile. Zargoth, Destroyer of Dimensions. Name, Zargoth. Title, Destroyer of Dimensions. Species, God among men. Primary caretaker, Avian Team Casey Baker. Is hover over the picture. I need this to be visualized.
A picture of your worst nightmare in his evil lair.
His evil lair.
His evil lair.
Diet. Crossed out. The blood of the innocents. The blood of the innocents. The blood of the innocents. One of them wasn't crossed out. Leave it be and ask a caretaker, says Casey. Housed at Avian Enclosure 2. Creature features. I love this particular page. I love this critter.
This is such a good. This is such a good page.
Zargoth, Destroyer of Worlds, is a name for a little demonic snow goose. He's very, very not adorable, but he seems agitated that I keep bringing it up. As you can see, Zargoth here has an ability to correct information about himself, whether it be in text form or even in your own mind. For example, one of the most striking things you'll notice when first meeting Zargoth is you'll know his name upon seeing him, even if you haven't been introduced before. Zargoth tends to use his ability to prune the more fake aspects of his personality. Thankfully, this effect is infallible and makes clear the terrifying power that surges through Zargoth's entire being. So we can still see him for what he is and treat him with respect. Zargoth tends to be extremely hostile, and if you're not careful or not wearing the right gear when handling him, he'll take every opportunity to go for the eyes. I almost lost a finger.
Go for the eyes.
I fucking love this profile. I forgot how funny it is.
It's
oh my
so
god.
good.
We've also had to install some new security measures in Avian Enclosure 2 because with my flawless sleight of hand, I can steal any key from right under your stupid noses. You missiles try to keep me caged, but I will escape from this prison. History.
I love Zargoth.
Love Zargoth.
He's so good.
We found Zargoth over by the beach, where there were reports of a murderer stalking his prey. Needless to say, our team rushed over there pretty fast, only to find Zargoth there, roaring at a family. We managed to capture him, but not without a few fatal injuries. After getting him in a cage, oh my god, my computer changed. Sorry, my
oh, your night
orange thing, yeah, my nighttime thing turned on. I was like, oh fuck. After
it's
getting
Zargoth.
him in a cage, it's Zargoth.
Zargoth's coming.
we were going to start the van when we couldn't find the key. Somehow Zargoth had gotten a hold of it. After wrangling it away, we managed to get him back to the shelter where we put him in the Avian Enclosure 2. You can probably guess what happened next. Zargoth went on a secret stealth mission after stealing a key from a clumsy guard. I ran, dropped out of a vent, and was surrounded, but I managed to retrieve my sword. Brandishing it towards the wretched kidnappers, I stepped out of the prison, only to be captured yet again with a magical net. Luckily, the knife was plastic and couldn't cut through it, so we got him back in his enclosure pretty quickly.
I love him.
I just want that to sit there for a second. Let it exist.
Him. I love how Cecil just goes, a sword? Ah. ah. Okay. I love Zargoth.
Special needs and accommodations for Zargoth. Zargoth is pretty hostile with any other critters, so he's got Avian Enclosure 2 to himself. He usually spends time in a secret lair where he likes to dive underwater. We're not sure why. Because he's so sneaky, the door to the Avian Enclosure 2 has 3 locks. We have so far been able to keep him wrongfully imprisoned When keys go missing, we simply switch out the locks. However, due to him taking up a whole enclosure just for himself, and because he's very capable of causing any real damage to the ecosystem, he's likely going to be let out very soon, with putrid witchcraft to spy on him, in case he ravages villages and terrorizes the countryside, a wasteland of widows, widowers, and orphans left in his wake. But we think that's very likely. Notes about Zargoth. We've been trying to put things in this section for the past 1,000 years, but Zargoth has thwarted you at every turn. If you need details on his eldritch doings, come talk to me. Casey Baker, eater of feces, or another one of Zargoth's captors.
These are so good.
Zargoth's release and return. While we love Zargoth, we quickly realized that keeping only him in a secret lair wasn't sustainable. As seasons turned to fall, more and more peasants were being taken in, and we simply couldn't keep up. We needed space. So, since Zargoth had a relatively high chance of him burning villages and salting fields, we freed him. Or we freed him near the beach we discovered him at. We kept an eye on our reports for any dimension destroyers consuming worlds, and so many came. I was getting ready to lose his file for good. Ready to close his file for good. Not lose. I just didn't see the sea. I just didn't read the sea at all. All right. But then he came back, just appeared in his old enclosure just a few days before we were going to introduce some telepathic ducks into it. And I have no clue why. Telepathic ducks? Theowen, ma'am, I want to know about the fucking telepathic
what's
ducks.
wrong? What's up with the
fuck?
ducks?
I want to know about him. I get the telepathic, but like, how do you know that?
They've talked to her. The ducks talk to Faye.
The ducks talk.
Or to Casey,
Perhaps
if Casey's writing this.
Perhaps it's because I have realized now why you have kept me here for eons. You were not imprisoning me, but worshipping me as an idol. The gods have grown old and foolish and only talk of migrating and child rearing. But all of you have much greater desires. Worship me and bring me followers of my own kind, and we shall rule. He's editing this right now, isn't he? Zargoth's followers. Zargoth with no one important. We hadn't looked this far down in this creature profile.
No, we haven't.
So all of this is new. We saw like the top of it and we were both like, we cannot.
We can't
have
do
to
this.
Stop.
We have to wait until stream to do this.
It's incredible. Upon reviewing this file and seeing Zargoth's edits, we have put together some candidates for worthy associates, priests, and servants of my religion, including those telepathic ducks I mentioned before. In response to Zargoth's want, tell me about the ducks, Theowen! What the fuck?
God
I want to know about the goddamn ducks.
Tell me about these telepathic ducks, Casey or Faye or whoever's writing this.
Faye. Regardless, Theowen warned us before. She could have been like, we're also going to be publishing a critter profile of these ducks.
We're going to tell you a little bit about these. Come on, get your shit together, Faye.
Get your fucking shit together.
Tell us about the ducks.
The ducks! In response to Zargoth's want for servitude. I'm feeling very hopeful. He hasn't roared at any of the other birds we've introduced to the avian enclosure to. In fact, he's actually taken shine to a Canadian goose in particular, Autumn. We think that with conquering season approaching, he may be interested in her as more than just a disciple. Zargoth is a singular being with no need for petty mortal trappings such as affection and love, or the consensual rubbing of bills, though these things might sometimes be feigned to keep the disciples subservient. Any misinterpretations of Zargoth's actions are only indications of the feeble, malleable minds of the observers. Either way, things are looking up. I think he finally doesn't have to be alone.
I love Zargoth.
I love Zargoth with every fiber of my being.
God,
I love Zargoth.
Look at this little asshole. Look at this little asshole.
Shit.
Zargoth with no one important.
I do really love that.
Don't look at her. Look at me.
No one look at... That's my weakness. No one look at Autumn.
No one look at Autumn. Oh, man, that's funny.
Hey, Olivia. Hey, Olivia. I hate the title.
Huh? Oh, God. What?
Up to the lemonade stand. Then he said to the man running the stand, "Hey, bum bum bum,
Got
got any
any
grapes?"
grapes?
It's don't Olivia.
Also,
Olivia.
Cecil says, I love how Zargoth just like scribbled on these pictures. That's so
It is so
funny.
funny.
Just
I love it.
ah.
Zargoth is incredible. I will. Okay, okay, okay. Petition, petition, petition. I understand that we
Petition.
have Wahel, we have Bartholomew, we have our god.
We need a
Can we add
pantheon,
Zargoth?
Chelsea. We need a pantheon.
Yeah, we got a pantheon. There
We
we
need a
go.
pantheon.
Zargoth is now also a
Zargoth
god.
is on there
Zargoth.
is on there with Wahel. Although
Yes,
we're using Wahel instead of
Yeah,
Bartholomew. Wahel's name is
that's
Bartholomew,
true.
so it's like I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of it's interchangeable, you know.
Okay, yeah. Some days you're just feeling Bartholomew. Some days you're just feeling
Yeah,
Wahel.
some days just good old Barty.
Yeah, just Bart.
Bart.
Praise be to Bart. What did you write, Olivia? Zargoth controls the vertical. Zargoth controls the horizontal. Do not pay any attention to the host. Focus on me.
That's so good. That's so good. I love that so much.
That is so good. Oh my god.
Oh fuck.
Oh Jesus. Okay, I think all we have for next week then
We have the two danger ones, then we have the cat, Trunko, or three danger ones.
so then we have
The cat, which is the other critter profile, and then the rescue
Owen.
mission, and then Owen. So
Mhm.
we have three danger profiles, we have two critter profiles, and then we have a rescue mission,
Is
the
this
spooky well.
Let me see something.
What you looking at?
Well, some the spooky well and the critter profile of Mar or whatever, they're in Spanish.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Not for me.
And then Owen is in Japanese.
Not for me.
When you clicked on them?
Yeah.
It says original language Spanish, and I clicked on it and it was in Spanish.
Yeah, mine's in English.
Well, we'll figure that out next week.
I don't know why it's not in English for you.
I don't know. I don't know.
Is Owen English?
Well, let me check.
Yeah, Owen's in English for me.
Well, Owen's in English for me.
Okay, no. So click. Did you click on the cat one?
Yeah. Oh wait.
Why is this?
Sorry. It's not in Spanish. I was just. What the fuck did my brain do?
Because you read that it was in languages in Spanish.
Yeah.
So you just looked at it and was like, those aren't English words.
Yeah, that's kind of what I did. That's kind of. I went.
So I was like,
that
it's
sucks.
in English for me. I don't know.
Yeah, no,
what
it's okay.
your
It's
problem
okay.
is.
It's okay. It's in English. It's in English. It's okay.
I was so confused.
We're fine. It's fine. Don't
Jason,
worry
I was
about it.
confused. That really fucked me up, bro.
Yeah, I know. It fucked me up too because then I realized, wait, what? Did I
Yeah,
just?
so we
What
have
did I
three
do?
danger profiles, and then we have two critters, and then a rescue mission.
Yes. So
I love stories. Is just you have roaches.
just
That's
for one of the
things.
yeah, you have roaches.
You have roaches. That's it.
You do. You sure do.
Suffer, bitch. Figure it out.
Fucking deal.
Get fucked.
Me too. Okay, so I guess that's all we could do for today because it's 11 o'clock. We're gonna pick up everything else and finish out the critter profiles and like the danger stuff and the rescue mission next week on Tuesday. There will not be a stream tomorrow because I gotta. Apparently, my old high school English teacher has a podcast and I'm supposed to be on that. I don't know. I don't. Weird turn of events. I have no idea what that's for. So that's tomorrow at 8:30. So I was like, oh, I can't stream. And then honestly, I can't explain it because I don't even know. I don't even know. And
That's
then
always a great time.
yeah, pretty
You can't
much.
explain the thing that you said you do.
Yeah, I have to ask her tomorrow morning. Yeah, what the fuck am I doing again?
Hey, bro.
Hey, Connie, what am I doing?
Connie.
Her name is Connie.
Hey, Connie.
What am I doing tomorrow?
Hello.
Hello. And then
Oh my god.
Friday,
Red Dead.
Friday, I think Jenny and I are gonna play Red Dead as Ivor and
Oh
Magna.
god. Oh god, guys.
It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be a bad time, but like a good
I
time, but
was
like
just
also a
Jenny
bad
and
time.
Ivor are just gonna burn everything down. You're not gonna get anything done.
Yeah,
A
I
little
mean,
fucking arsonist.
I mean, I don't know if you've seen the clip where Magna was trying to sell something at like a little stall, and then Ivor comes around the corner on a horse and just eats shit and flies off of her horse.
I saw that. I
Okay,
saw
good.
that. That was really fucking
That's
funny.
such a good
It's
video.
beautiful
It's
because there's two
so good.
separate. There's what you saw and what she saw,
What she
and it's
saw.
incredible.
It's so good. But I think that's gonna happen on Friday, so
It's gonna be fun.
it's gonna be, you know, something's gonna happen.
Something.
Something. Uh, and then next Monday, Lotus House. We had Lotus House
Session
session.
2.
We had session 1 yesterday.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I don't know. My brain's
I
broken.
Brosif broke me.
Oh yeah,
That's it.
Brosif.
That's all that matters.
Uh,
Brosif broke me deep in my soul.
yeah, yeah. I experienced feelings, but I don't know what they were. It was just
Something
thoughts,
like I
emotions.
said, like I said yesterday during stream, something about Brosif makes me want to cry,
Yeah,
and I
you
don't
know,
know what
and
it is.
what's weird is that when you said it like that, I instantly knew what you were talking about,
You
but I can't put
understood
what,
the
but
feeling.
I can't. Oh man, I can't put any words to it. I can't describe it
That's
with the
the
English
best
language.
description that I can give.
It's like
When we
something about
first
it
met
makes me
him,
want
my
to cry.
immediate reaction was, "You should cry." I was like, "Why?"
It's like like the thing is, it's not even an emotional kind of cry. It's just you just feel the need to cry.
Like, what would have been so funny is if I had like that urge was super strong because that would have been like the second time I've cried on stream and it's just over Brosif. Just
You're like,
meeting Brosif
wait,
and
wait a
breaking.
minute.
Like, why am I crying?
Why am I in tears? Oh my god. See, now my one eye is in tears because I heard Broseph and my one eye was like, hold on, hold on. No, it's just itching. That's a strange response to
Why I
have.
responded like
Tears.
that, Cecil? I don't know.
I don't understand. I don't know why. We just had to cry a little bit.
Like, there was just an immediate thing of like, you want to cry now, and I was like, no, I don't.
No, I don't.
I don't at all.
No, I don't. Yes, you do. No, I don't. Don't make me do it.
No, I
No, I
don't.
don't.
Stop it.
Don't make me. Don't make me do it.
Yeah, so we have session 2 coming up this Monday at 7 p.m. EST, and then we're back into full swing for Jar of Rebuke. So
It's coming
2
up.
sessions every single month, and we're getting in not 2 sessions, 2 episodes every single month, and we're getting back into the actual story. So season 2 is starting up. Very exciting, very exciting. We're gonna be new voices, returning voices, new storylines.
Returning people as not the same voices. Just saying.
But also,
maybe.
we're gonna get to see more of the characters we know. We're gonna meet a few new ones. Just tasty little things.
Just some beautiful. Yeah.
What are we doing?
I don't know. It's late. So thank you everybody for coming out. Well, yeah, I don't know. Thank you everybody for coming out for more SCPs. We'll be doing this again next week, and then we just said all this stuff that's happening for the rest of the week. So fun times, fun times. It is 11:08. I'm gonna be the dad here, and fucking praise be Zargoth, destroyer of dimensions.
And Wahel.
And Wahel. And Wahel. Don't
Come
forget.
on, bitch.
I mean, I'm sorry, Zargoth put his name first before Wahel in my brain, so like
it's
yeah.
necessary, but it's Not,
Yeah.
I mean, same.
Yeah. So I mean, I was just like, whoa, wait, Wahel exists. Whoa, Zargoth, why'd you do that? So
Sorry, come on, man.
come on, dude. What are you doing?
This fucking guy.
So yeah, this fucking guy. So that's all I've got. Let me see if there's anybody streaming.
No, was the Dadly words of wisdom praise Sargoth and Wahel?
Yeah. I know what I said. I know what I said.
Fucking said.
I know what I said.
And don't forget, as Jason's looking for a raid, when you get to the raid, reload the page, get rid of the raid referral tag at
Yes.
the end because it'll count as a view for once you remove that for the streamer we're going to. Don't forget to do that. It's really helpful.
Yes, yes, yes. My friend, let's see.
My friend.
My friend Dan,
My
I
friend.
guess he's shining hunting in Pokemon. I guess.
Ooh, fancy.
So, I mean, normally he's not streaming when I am because I guess he changed his schedule.
His schedule and didn't tell you. Fucking
Yeah, I guess.
this fucking guy.
This fucking guy. So we're gonna go hang out with Dan for a little bit. And again, make sure you refresh your stream, um, so
Yes.
that the raid works.
Just either refresh or click the profile just to get rid of that raid referral at the
Yeah,
end of the link.
yeah, yeah. So, peace out, everybody. Love yourself because I do, and have a good rest of your night. Bye.
Goodbye.
Beautiful.